Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Sunday, April 13th, but Sam's not here again. And I have Cam again. And we're here the last regular season pod of the 24-25 season. Celtics get a win, finish the season 61-21, beat up on the undermanned Hornets as the undermanned Celtics. Things got dicey at the end, got close. You could tell Joe wanted to win because he put Pritchard back in the game. And they got a 93-86 victory over Charles Lee's Hornets. And yeah, 60-plus win season, as Terp, informed me during the game. It's the first time since the 15-16 Warriors that a defending champ hit the 60-win mark. So pretty good regular season for the Celtics. We can talk about this game individually too, but end of the regular season, 61 wins.
Yeah, anytime the Celtics have won 60 games or more in a season, they are 7-14 in winning that year's title. So pretty good. The other teams that recently have won 60 games after winning a title are the Heatles and the Big Three Celtics. So this is historic stuff. I mean, this was we talked about this last time. This wasn't a super healthy season. I think Celtics were about middle of the pack in terms of games missed, thanks to injury, but that's such a balanced roster, a deep roster. The program they have in Maine is so commendable and important. So, they went, it was like something like 18-12 in December and January. I didn't think they were on track for 60 wins. Their Vegas preseason total was 57 or 58 wins, so they were supposed to be good, but they finished really strong here. We're in TD Garden. You measure success in banners, not regular season accolades. So it's quite thrilling. We're very lucky to cover such a good team, but it's not just job's not finished. It's things are just getting started.
Job's not even close. Job hasn't started yet. 61 wins. I think before the season started, I predicted every game in the season. They came out to 59 wins, so I thought they'd finish just short. They finished just over. One of 3 60-win teams in the NBA this season. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we know
second
the Cavs
most
and the Thunder
ever in the NBA, behind the 1998 season, where 4 teams had 60 wins.
Oh wow, that's actually crazy. It is interesting that we spent the whole season saying oh my god, look how big the lead the Cavs have are. What's the problem? 3-game difference. Yeah. All said and done, everything's done. It is just a 3-game difference. 64 wins versus 61 wins. And I think just to put it into a little bit of perspective, not that this matters getting this granular, but the difference between the 61 and the 64 win season are literally a few jump balls, a few, steals, a few transition plays, a few shots that don't go. This is a very good basketball team. There's 2 very good basketball teams, 3 very good basketball teams, including the Thunder. The Celtics are very much in the mix with those guys. After their impressive season, and 10 games ahead of the Knicks in 3rd place in the East. So the Celtics did pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, I tried this take on for size with Bobby, that part of the story here is actually how bad the bottom of the league is. But to your point, it wasn't good enough for the Knicks to inflate their standings. It wasn't good enough for the West to have a few more really, really good teams, at least on paper. So what the Cavs accomplished is very tremendous. I don't know that they can beat the Celtics in the playoffs, but the Celtics did. Title defending is really hard and exhausting, and egos flare and all sorts of stuff, so that they got 60 wins is impressive. And I don't want to put this on the Thunder because they're so young. It's a lot of pressure to put on Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, who are young guys, but what they just did was historic. I mean, this is up there with the Bulls from the 90s and the Warriors from the 20 teens. I mean, what they get 60, they might win 60, their 68th game while we're recording this. What a fun season. Luka trade, Jimmy stuff, crazy coach stuff. This was a tremendous regular season.
Listen, man.
I didn't go long enough on that. Jack's eating chips on mute while I talk.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say tremendous enough.
Tremendous is you love that word. I like it. I love it. But as you were saying, what the Thunder did was something, I'm he's going to say tremendous. And you did. And I was fuck yeah.
Wow.
I know it's a great word. That's not a knock. It's just a fun little thing that I've noticed. Anyways.
Turpin said I reckon a lot. I reckon that was a good game or something like that.
I could see that. I could see that as a Cam word for sure. The Pritchard game. every 82nd game, you can expect a 30 ball, 34, 7, and
Yeah,
7.
how crazy is that? He's had 5 80-point games in his NBA career, and 3 of them have been on the last day of the season.
5 30-point games?
Yeah.
5 80-point games would be majorly impressive.
They had that one in the Pan Am. If you Google Payton Pritchard's most points ever, you get that legendary summer run. So yeah, 5 30-point games in his NBA career, 3 of which have come on the last day of the season.
This dude is so sick.
I love
this wasn't even a 3-point barrage either. Like he was 4 of 12. He was 4 of 12 from outside the arc and 11 of 13 or 10 of 13 inside the arc. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, this was not a very good. This was basically the Greensboro Swarm out there. This was not a very good Hornets team, but I love Pritchard on the podium. He like all the other guys are so media trained. They're so like the answer they give are not that interesting. Pritchard, he just like if he doesn't like your question, he's not rude about it, but he'll be like, "No, that's not it," and then he'll give his perspective on it. I love that.
Yeah, man, Pritchard's great. Pritchard always gives pretty good answers. It was fun to see him sort of dissect this Hornets team tonight.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, he probably would have had more assists if the Celtics had good players playing. They missed a lot of shots, but Pritchard was great. Shout out to Pritchard. This has just become his game of the year. Like this is marked on the calendar as the Pritchard night. I don't know where else you would want to go next. Like Pritchard was obvious. This was the best player in your eyes. I guess I'll ask out of curiosity. Who did you see as the second best player in this game? Like the second guy you looked to was like, oh yeah, that guy was pretty good or pretty bad. If it was, you want to go the opposite way.
I thought Baylor did a very nice job of inserting himself in the game. He was tough. He was kind of all over the place. He's still a work in progress, obviously, but I thought if you still have Baylor Jarman stock, and I thought this was a good game for that. He was really all over the place. I thought Luke. It's funny because I noticed that him and Nurkic were like shoving each other a lot, and Nurkic he's got to be up there with like the strongest dudes in the league.
I think he's top 5 heaviest players in the NBA. Last time I checked,
and he's not like the tallest. Like he's just a sturdy dude. So I thought Luke did a really nice job with the physicality there because this was a crazy fast physical game for a game that no one had anything to play for. So Luke, I mean, I thought Luke was good. I thought Sam was okay. I didn't think Sam was that interesting. But the regular season is just a preview of the playoffs. The top 6 guys are going to play a lot. Payton and Luke and Sam are going to play some, and no one else is really going to play in the playoffs. So we kind of organically saw that play out, that the 2 most important reserves were the most important players tonight, and everyone else served admirably. I thought JD looked okay. I mean, he missed a lot of shots, but yeah, it was good. I said to Bobby, what a thrill it is to cover the Boston Celtics, that a Sunday matinee game where none of the star players are playing and nothing matters. You got fans out of their seats yelling at the refs in the fourth quarter of a BS game. I mean, you got MVP chants at the free throw line. If I had played for one of these awful organizations like the Hornets or the Wizards, or like these places where like this was probably a sellout crowd and a really raucous one, this would have been like the best home game of the season if you're the Hornets, right? If I played for one of these crappy teams, after playing Boston, I request a trade. I'd be like, this is how good it can be
for sure.
NBA stage. Like, these dudes are crazy good. I'm sure a lot of them played for really good college programs or played overseas at really prestigious programs, and then to go play for 10,000 fans at is it still the Verizon Center in DC? It's just got to be.
I don't know DC. I know Spectrum Center, Charlotte.
Yeah,
yeah.
So the fans were maybe the third most intriguing element tonight's game.
They were fun. Also, circling back, Nurkic, second heaviest player in the NBA.
Can I guess the first?
Do you want to guess one? I was going to say, yeah. Do you want to go? Go ahead.
Do you have the top 5?
I do have the top 5, yes. I have everything.
I'll put Steven Adams on there. He's made of muscle. I mean, he's got to be. Yeah, give me Steve.
Steve is not. He is not top. I don't even think he's top 15. He might. He's tied for the top 15. I'd say there's a bunch of 265. He's
how tall is
265.
Nurkic? Nurkic is 7 foot flat.
7 foot. Mm-hmm.
Steve's, I
Mhm.
think that tall. Okay, maybe I can't do this. Do I definitely know the
I
top
can give you the
five?
college. You know every player in the top 5, yes. Like you would know. You'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Like, are the people listening right now screaming into their phones or whatever because it's obvious
The
I'm being
first
dumb?
one is just the first one,
Is it Edie?
kind of. Yeah, he's the heaviest. Edie's 305. Nurkic is 290.
Wow, Shaq's playing
And then
weight used to be
there's
315, just for context.
who did Shaq?
Shaq's playing weight was 315.
Yeah. 3 is Jokic at
Big honey.
284, and he's tied with Zion at 284.
I
Um,
could have figured that out.
and then Brooke Lopez 282. So
Wow,
there you go. Anyways, back to
that's
Celtics.
pretty good.
Yeah, I thought Sharman was good. Like you said, excuse me, sort of inserted himself into the game. That's a good word for it. Hustle. I always say it whenever I watch him play. No one hustles for rebounds more than Baylor Sharman hustles
Yeah,
for
he
rebounds. He had 7
it's just
tonight.
like a cartoon character. He builds momentum and then he goes up
Yeah.
for it. There's like a little like pause almost.
Indeed. 3 steals too, which was fun. 2 at 10 didn't shoot well, but he's taking the right shots. He does take some stupid shots, I'll say. He takes some like, you're really Baylor? That's the one. Rookie learning process is what it is. JD was good though. 4 of 11, 1 of 3. It took him a little bit to get into the flow of things. By the time the game was close and they needed guys to make plays, you could see him start to get comfortable a little bit and sort of hit some of the shots we've seen him hit in Maine all season. So that was a good thing to watch unfold. Luke Kornet was Luke Kornet, man. I will never get over just how good Luke Kornet was. But before I talk about that, I need to tell you about Game Time. Game Time is the best place for all your ticketing needs this baseball season, this basketball season. The playoffs are finally here. So make sure to check out Game Time. Let me pull up gametime.co so I can tell you exactly what the best features of Game Time are. My favorite part about Game Time is you can see the exact seat that you're going to sit in. So if I click on Game Time and I go to this Bruins game in the dying Bruins season, you can click on a seat at TD Garden and see exactly what you're going to see for that venue. I'm at the Garden right now, and the Wi-Fi is not great though, so maybe I won't be able to show you. But yep, you can see the exact view you'll see from your seat based on the ticket you choose. You can see the star here. It's a super deal, so you know you're getting the best deal possible. You can even see on the ice it says home shoots twice on this side. So if you want to sit on the side of the ice where the Bruins are going to shoot twice, you can go and choose that side of the ice. You can toggle on and off the setting to see fees before checkout, so you don't get surprised at the very end, which is a very useful thing. You are covered with Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry, and Game Time picks, which means curation makes it easier to save more in sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Anyways, back to this. Like I was saying, JD I thought was good. It looked nice, or it was nice, I should say, to see him sort of settle in a little bit and put up some solid enough numbers or a solid enough performance, I should say, after what happened in Orlando a few nights ago, because he was really bad in Orlando, but put it together a little bit more in this one. Kornet was great. We were asking him about stuff after the game. His passing continues to impress me. He had 4 blocks in this game, including just embarrassing Tijan Salon at the 2 hand blocks. See you later. He has been such an incredible hub. I'm curious to see what it looks like in the playoffs because you have to assume his minutes will go down a little bit, but he's been too efficient and too impactful to not get burned. And
Well,
so I'm excited to see how they use him.
Well, you say that, but Joe has really liked the double big lineup this year. The Wi-Fi is too crappy for me to pull up any data around this, so it's just on feel. But I think the double big lineups have been really effective. I think they are really helpful for both Horford and for Porzingis to get adequate rest. So I don't know that we'll see a lot of it's Jason with Sam, Payton, and Luke out there. I don't think that lineup is going to get much burn here, but there's a lot of things that double bigs allows you to do, and Horford and Porzingis are always going to need a little bit more rest than the average featured player. So I do think Kornet, for at least the first 2 rounds in the playoffs, should get reasonable burn. Least of which, against or like there isn't, maybe the Pacers are too fast and quick for him to stay in the court, but they're going to need that size against probably most of their likely opponents coming up anyways.
Yeah, it's just he's too good, man. As a rim protector, as a screener, as a two-man game with Tatum, D. White, and Pritchard, like he's been unbelievable. So shout out to him. Outside of that, I need your opinion on this. Nimish Gata played fine tonight. I actually thought his energy was pretty good. He had 4 assists, which was nice to see. 6 rebounds. He had 2 points. He was 1 of 5, which is less than ideal. What do you think of Nimish Gata?
It's funny, at one point, so I sat next to Bobby. That's why I'm going to keep talking about Bobby. I go, oh my God, he's been so good on the glass. Bobby looks it up. He goes, he has 2 rebounds. This was just such a messy game that it's hard to evaluate any one performance. I thought when Nimi gets the seal, I think he's so good against reserve players, against smaller players. Like, I think you can really feed him down low. I think he gets in trouble when he has to play alongside the starters and go up against other teams' best players. I don't think he is quite there. So that was one of the things I was saying in December is first of all, like the Celtics are kind of waffling here, but like getting Drew Peterson in the first quarter, it's clear that they're trying something. So I think a lot of Kata, we got a lot of exposure to Kata earlier in the season. I think because the regular season is for tinkering, and those minutes went away. I don't think because he wasn't playing well enough. I think it's because new players needed more opportunity to shine and this, that, and the other. So he's a very good 4th big man. I think on a less good team, he could probably even be your starting center, depending on the kind of player he shares the floor with. But I think we've seen less of him, not necessarily as a consequence of how good he is, but as a consequence of this is a deep team and other guys need burn, and Nimi Kata was never going to be the priority.
Wow. Starter Kate is crazy.
That's not a good team.
What team? What?
Like a team with a sick point guard where they just need a center to set screens, or a team with like you could probably start alongside Wemby or something on a Spurs team that's still trending up, right?
Wow. I see. Okay,
there are a lot of
You're higher.
Look, the
You're
NBA
higher on Kata than I.
Oh, I thought you liked Kata. Got more minutes than Tillman.
He did. Tillman also not very good. That's not a great bar for Kata to be playing against. As a big fan of Tillman, I love Tillman. That is not the best place for him to set his bar. See, who was actually really good in this game? Jordan Walsh. He had a few unsightly turnovers. He had 3, which wasn't ideal, but he had 10 points, 8 rebounds. He was attacking the glass really well. 2 steals, a block, and assist. 4-7, 2 of 4. The biggest thing for me is he still needs to work on the quick trigger shooting. Like, he is a bit too hesitant at times, it feels like, to let it fly. Like, he's standing in the corner with a little bit of space and he'll just like hesitate, and then it's too late, and then he has to drive and put the ball on the floor.
But
you could see the outline here a little bit.
I think his instincts on the perimeter are just a little slow, because I think where I saw him kind of struggle the most was guys would get shots off, and he either hadn't closed out or he just like wasn't ready to put a hand up. So I think Walshy's pretty good, but I do think he looked young tonight, which is okay. I mean, no one is. That's
good. He is. Yeah.
That's the wonderful thing about how they use Maine, is like it really is like a lab and a place to be nurtured. It's not. It's okay that's how Jordy is playing right now. But they've what I mean, I haven't spent any time up in Maine. You would know better than I. They certainly teach these guys how to hustle, right? Like we keep saying of the Maine guys, they know how to impact a game as the 12th guy on a team. Like they know that their job isn't to try and score 20 points. Their job is to do everything else.
For sure. Those main guys love to run. Their defense is so fun. It's so chaotic. It's so different from what the Celtics do. And so shout out to Tyler Lashbrook and the Maine Celtics for an impressive season. Like they made the conference finals, and then that Osceola team was disgusting. I don't know who ended up winning the G League finals, but they're really good. Shout out. Man, I don't know how much else there was from this game. Tajon Salon, the rookie for the Hornets, stinks. He is so bad, and there's some players where he shot 1 of 11 and 1 of 7 from 3. Not very good, right?
I liked that.
There's some players, yeah.
I like that two-way kid, Damian Bow. I don't know. So
Yeah, hustles.
He 6 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, something like that. He didn't play that much.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of times where he would he'd bring the ball up, he'd be over the halfway marker. What do I want to say? Half court line, and no other Hornets player would be there, and he'd look back and try to wave him on. Loved that. I like that kid.
He's cool. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't think I could have named 5 of the players on the Hornets who were going to play Friday night. So,
Josh Gibson.
I could say. Well, here I could do. Well, Lonzo wasn't going to play. And
LaMelo.
Yeah, LaMelo. Jeez.
Yeah.
I could Curry. I got the Bosnian Beast. Mark Williams, obviously. Taj, I knew. And I think I learned up all the other players on the Hornets today or this weekend.
Brandon Miller didn't play.
I knew I could do.
Yeah. Grant, old friend, don't forget. Been hurt all season.
But he's around.
Yeah, they're not very good. You know who I love? Charles Lee. Did you go to either of the pregame pressers with Charles Lee?
No,
he's awesome.
Stuff.
He's awesome. He's so sick. He's just the nicest dude.
I've heard you.
Shout out Charles Lee. Shout out Buck. Shout out Blaine Miller. The guys he took with him to Charlotte. But pretty nothing game. But now we get to look ahead to the playoffs. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to talk about the playoffs from now till then, so we won't go on too long. But I guess the last thing I'll ask you before you get out of here is, obviously this game probably didn't make much of an impact in your thoughts of the Celtics heading into the playoffs. But
no, I don't think so.
In general, what is your thought process as the Celtics get ready for this playoff run, in terms of, are they ready, in terms of how you think they fare against the other teams fighting for it, just in general, after a 61-win regular season?
Yeah, I think that this team is going to go to the finals. With respect to the Knicks and the Cavs, their biggest vulnerability is the Celtics' biggest strength. Something terrible would need to happen for the Celtics to not go to the finals. I hear a lot of people saying that the Pacers are low-key the toughest matchup for this Celtics team. I think you said that. I'm open to that, but the Celtics are absolutely poised to go back to the NBA Finals. Even if Jalen is 80% of himself, I think Jason Tatum is 10% better than he was last year. I think the other guys have leveled up too. So when healthy, we said this last time I talked to you, I don't think there's any reason to think that they're not going to the finals. And then, look, anything can happen. A 7-game series isn't that long, so I don't know who's going to come out of the West and how banged up or battle hardened or whatever they're going to be. But I feel like whatever malaise we saw in December and January and a little bit into February, I don't think that's going to linger. Old habits die hard, but it does seem like the worst of those old habits kind of went away. So even if Jalen's knee is a worst case scenario, I think there's a really good Celtics team.
Yeah, I agree. I feel good. I think they feel good. And I think we'll just have to wait and see with everything, including Jalen's knee. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to check out Celtics Lab podcast on all platforms on YouTube. What day of the week do you guys post? Do you guys post the same day is it Monday, Tuesday? Why do I feel like it's
Monday evenings, but when we have guests, sometimes we work around their schedules. But if you subscribe and follow, you'll never miss an episode.
Indeed. Do that for sure. Check out Cam's work at Celtics Wire as well, the written work. Go check out his article on Porzingis, everything he's got going on there. Justin Quinn's work too. Shout out Justin. And shout out Alex. Shout out the whole crew. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe here as well to How About Them Celtics. You can check out Sam's work at Celtics Blog and follow him at Sam LaFrance NBA. As Cam's on Twitter at C2Bay. I forgot to put it on the screen here, but maybe I'll remember to put it on the post. We'll see if I remember that. And you can follow me on Twitter at JacksonWoodNBA. That's it for us. Goodbye.
Check, come on.